Hello, Sergio. How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Cesar.
How are you doing, sir?
Oh, it's everything all right.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. How's your day so far?
Um. My day.
Mhm.
It's normal.
Normal day.
Yeah. Nothing new.
No changes, nothing new.
Nothing new.
Okay. All right. So how you doing with your last semester? You mentioned that you were gonna start doing your project, right?
Yeah. My project degree.
Mm-hmm. Did you start already?
Oh no. I start this project in maybe 2-3 weeks.
Okay. Well, it's very close then,
Oh yeah. It's
right?
so
Very,
new.
very close. Okay. Good. So are you ready today to start a new subject or a
Yeah.
new exercise? Okay. Today we will talk about Ramadan. You know what Ramadan is?
No. Ramadan.
Okay,
Never
let's talk
heard.
about that. Ramadan is a holy month for Muslims. What happens during Ramadan and what does it mean to millions of Muslims worldwide? Okay. Before that, let's go over some vocabulary. What about crescent moon?
Eating food, the time in the evening. Sun comes down. Buildings. Time a day when life from this line begins to appear. No. To give no. To shape and to shape the moon when more than half. Maybe letter C.
Yes, the shape of the moon, right? To fast.
The time in the evening. No. To start eating. Building for Islamic. No. The time in the day when no. Yes or no. To give money or other things to organizations that help people in need. Tampoco.
This is very interesting because fast has a different meaning. Usually
Oh,
fast, we use it as quick,
yeah.
rapid. In this case, it has a different meaning. But let's go to another vocabulary word or phrase, and then we come back to fast. To break as fast.
Maybe letter D, to start eating food again after a period of no eating.
To start eating food again after a period not eating? Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So what does it mean to fast? Not eat.
No, in this case, no.
Okay. So what's the answer for number two?
Maybe to not eat food.
Exactly. To fast significa ayunar.
Oh,
Okay. To donate to charities.
to give money or other things to organizations that help people in need.
Okay. So that would be your answers. What about to date? A date.
No, this no. To time
Okay.
no. A building, a sweet brown fruit from the palm tree. Maybe the first.
The
Mañana.
time in the day when light from the sun begins to appear in the sky. Ujú. Eso sería más dawn. Es el amanecer, ¿no? The time in the day when light from the sun empieza a
Ujú.
aparecer en el cielo. Amanecer, dawn.
And at the time in the evening when the sun goes down at 8.
No, that would be the sunset.
A sweet
Pues
brown
está-
fruit from the palm tree.
Okay, yes, you got it. And what's a mosque?
A building for Islamic
Mhm, mhm.
religious activities and prayer.
Okay. Any questions on vocabulary?
Yeah, a date is a fruit.
I told you we were gonna find out new things.
A sweet brown fruit from the palm tree, como piña.
It looks like it.
Oh, that's so new.
Mhm. Okay. So let's talk about Ramadan. Can you help me with the reading? I'll start with the first one, Ramadan. Ramadan is a very special time for Muslims all over the world. Observing Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. During Ramadan, all Muslims over the age of 12, with some exceptions, are expected to fast between dawn and sunset. Okay, so can you continue?
Yeah. When does it take place? Ramadan is 9 months of the Islamic calendar, which follows the phases of the moon. This means the dates of Ramadan change each year. The moon starts when the new crescent moon is first visible in the night sky. Fasting ends with the arrival of the next lunar moon, which starts with the first glimpse of the new crescent moon. How the people fast during Ramadan, the day starts early so that people can eat a pre-fast meal before dawn. This meal, called suhoor, is important. This will keep them going through the day during daylight hours. Fasting Muslims cannot eat food or drink water or any other drinks in late spring or
Do you have any questions?
Mm, no.
Okay, let's continue.
Early summer, this is a particularly difficult as the day can be very long. People who live in a polar regions where daylight can last 22 hours or more can choose to follow the dawn on sunset times in Mecca or a nearby country where the sky is dark at night.
Nearby.
Nearby, Mecca or nearby country. Are all Muslims expect to fast? Not all Muslims are expect to fast. Children under the age of 12, people who are traveling, elderly people, pregnant women, and others where it may affect their health are exempt. Those who can't fast for any reasons can offer to feed poor people for each day dismissed during Ramadan. What happened at sunset? People can eat and drink again once the sun has set. The traditional way to break the fast is by eating dates and drinking a glass of water. Then the evening meal Iftar is a social event that can go on for hours. It's common for people to eat together in a large groups of family and friends. Special foods are prepared and shared, and desserts are particularly popular. Muslims often include charity in iftar as well, sharing iftar with members of the community who cannot buy or make their own food. Across the Muslim world, mosques and aid organizations set up tents and tables for the public in poorer communities to eat free iftar meals every night of Ramadan. Why do people why do people fast? Muslims fast during Ramadan to bring them closer to God and to remind them of the suffering of people who are less fortunate than themselves. Fasting is an exercise in self-control as well as not eating, drinking, or smoking. Muslims try to avoid bad actions like talking about people behind their backs or using bad language. Ramadan is a time for people to work on being more patient, more tolerant, and more mindful of the people around them. It's a moment to reflect and work on being better people. Mm, Many Muslims also donate money to charities during the month, and a lot of Islamic charities organize food packs for people in poorer countries or refugee camps. Giving donations to charity known as zakat is a particularly important during the holy month, and so is prayer, meditation, and reading the Quran. Quran. Who is the end of Ramadan celebrate? Eid ul-Fitr. Eid ul-Fitr marks the end of the month of fasting. There are many Eid traditions, mainly centered around family, food, generosity, and festivities. On Eid ul-Fitr, Muslims wake up early and dress in their finished clothes to attend the Eid prayers. After prayers, they wish each other a happy Eid, Eid Mubarak in Arabic, before spending the rest of the day with their extended families, enjoying good food and sharing gifts with children and loved ones.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so what do you think about this article?
It's interesting article. I think it's a very, but not very, but worst tradition maybe, but sounds sounds
It's actually very strict. It's
oh
very,
yeah,
it's very strict, and the Muslim community is large. I do have read about its traditions, and also the Quran is very similar to the Old Testament. I actually dare to say that the Torah, the Bible, and the Quran are very similar when it comes to the Old Testament because it's the same people. Remember that Christians adopted the Jewish Bible because most of the prophets were Jewish. All of the prophets were Jewish for the Old Testament. The thing is, what I'm trying to say is that Islam is a religion that is old, but is Christianism is actually older. Christianism started after Jesus Christ, after what happened with Jesus Christ. And I would say like about a century after Jesus Christ or two. I don't remember. But Judaism is older than Christianism and then Islam. I mean, if we talk about how old they are, of course, they have centuries. But what I'm trying to say, a lot of scholars mention that Islam is a new religion that is young. And if you think about it, yeah, of course, it's old, but it's not as old as the other religions. However, I don't know, you have seen those documentaries where they are doing circles around a building in Jerusalem and they are praying.
Circles around
A building, yes, in Jerusalem.
No.
Okay, that's part of Ramadan. In Israel, that place in particular is a sacred place where is shared between Jewish people, Christians, and Islam. They share that place. It's neutral. Okay, but when is the time of Ramadan, Islamic people, they do this celebration, this praying. If you ever have the chance to look at some videos, perhaps you can find out a little bit more about it. And unfortunately, this Ramadan thing could be misinterpreted, okay? Just like Christianism, what happened at some point? The Spanish Inquisition, right? You're not Christian, right?
Yeah.
What is happening with Afghanistan or some of those places from the Middle East? They took the Islam very serious at such point of fanaticism. And for example, I have seen some videos and images from Afghanistan in the 70s, in the 1970s. It's like you were walking in California. Women used to wear pants, mini skirts. Men used to wear ties. All of a sudden, these minority groups such as the Taliban, the Al-Qaeda, starting using the name of Islam and the Quran as an excuse. They went back to the old times. It's like living right now in those places. It's like living back in, I don't know, the beginning of time. It's like living in the times of Jesus Christ. They had a very bad setback. I mean, trust me, the intentions of the Quran and the Old Testament and also the Torah, I'm sorry, they have good intentions, but people misinterpret this. Just like in Catholicism, right? A lot of people manage the words as for their own convenience. But
Yeah.
But if I analyze the Islam and the Ramadan, is actually a very good way to keep families together. I don't know. For example, for Catholics, there are things that we do that bring us together, but I don't know. Do they all work, or do they all Catholics do it? Not really. They're not that strict in the beliefs, such as Jewish people and Islamic people. They're very strict. Catholics are not. They're very flexible. That's the big difference. So what do you think?
And about the difference between the Catholicism
Yes.
well, I don't know. From my personal point of view, Catholicism is strict too, because
Think
I
so?
don't know. For example, about topics for homosexuality,
Oh, yes.
or I don't know how do you say in English, abortos,
Okay.
or
Abortion?
abortion, or I don't know. Maybe it's not good for women, because in Catholicism, never never we can see a woman in a position of authority. I don't know, o sea,
Mhm.
como curas. La mujer nunca podría ser cura, o nunca vamos a ver, yo creo, a una mujer papa, ¿no?
Yes.
Falta
Well,
mucho.
Catholicism is strict in that as an individual, right? Homosexuals, uh, all these laws, these restrictions to women, but also, are there any strictness towards family, towards having to pray, towards having to fast? Not really. Do you think Jewish people and Islamic people have problems in abortion,
No.
or
Maybe the
gay
woman
people?
is killed.
Exactly, because at some point they do not harass women sexually. They do harass women in another way, but not is not known for them to harass women sexually, you know. Maybe physically, that's very common, and it's even that's everywhere. Just but I don't know. It's, I guess, everyone manages things in their own convenience, right? And there's more flexibility now, because now that gay marriage is allowed in many countries and states. I believe Christianism has lost ground in that, in regards to that. But anyways, let's see if we can answer these true and false, right? It's a very broad topic, right?
Yes.
It's very, very broad, amplio, broad. Okay, so the sentence is true or false, number one.
Ramadan happens at the same time every year. Yeah, when the moon.
Number two.
Fasting during Ramadan helps people feel closer to God, to God. Fasting during the Ramadan helps people feel close. Yes, no.
Do you remember?
Más cerca
Are
del
all Muslims expected to fast?
people traveling are pregnant woman or exempt. Those who can fast for any reason can afford to feed poor people each day they miss the meal. Okay, false. False. It's not the principal point of Ramadan.
Well, check it out.
Most important during Ramadan to bring down closer to God. I remind. Oh, I don't have.
Okay.
Well, less fortunate. It's true.
Yes. Okay, good. What about 3?
All Muslims must fast during daily hours.
Daylight hours.
A daylight hours. Only must fast during daylight hours. No, it's false.
Mhm. 4.
The fast starts and ends at the same time of day for everybody. No, el
No, right?
ayuno comienza y termina. Si no, para entonces it's false. How many members often eat large meals together every night? Yeah, it's true.
Mhm. Because it's a time they share so they can eat during the day. I mean, together at night.
Giving money to charity is an important part of Ramadan. Yeah, it's true.
Money?
Not food.
Okay. False. Good. Now, let's go into the second task. Choose the correct definition. Number 1.
Oh my God. The time the sun comes up, the meal people eat before they fast, morning prayers. Okay, esta no puede ser. The time the sun comes up. Maybe letter A, the time the sun comes up.
Okay, so sahur. You know where it is?
Sahur.
The day starts early so that people can eat a pre-fast meal before dawn. This meal called sahur is important. Okay. So the meal people eat before they fast. Number 2, iftar.
Every Friday. Okay, the time the sun goes down, even prior to every meal. No. Ooh, chat. When you start. Maybe the second one.
Okay. Muslims often include charity in iftar as well. Okay, so iftar, this is the beginning. Okay, people can eat and drink again once the sun has set. The traditional way to break the fast is by eating dates and drinking a glass of water. Then the evening meal, iftar, is a social event that can go on for hours. Okay. Iftar, the evening meal. La comida o el alimento de la noche. Okay.
Perfect.
Edul
The first day of Ramadan, the last day of fasting, the festival that marks the end of the month. The last one,
The festival that marks the end of the month. Okay, so let's see. So Edelfir marks the end of the month of fasting. Yes. Eid Mubarak.
the greeting people exchange at the beginning. The greeting people exchange at the beginning of Ramadan, a large party for friends and family. The greeting people exchange at the end. Maybe because it sounds opposite to the other point. I think the first the greeting people exchange in beginning of the Ramadan because Eid ul-Fitr is the end.
Okay.
I don't know.
You think so?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So after prayers, they wish each other happy Eid Mubarak before spending the rest of the day with their extended families. Okay. So that's correct, right?
Perfect.
Okay. And zakat.
Zakat giving money to charity, the food people. And the food people eat in the morning, the pious people say in the evening. The zakat. No, giving donations to charity, no, is as zakat. It's a particularly important during the holiday. Yeah, it's the first.
Giving money to charity?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So do you observe Ramadan?
No, I never observed Ramadan because in Bolivia, I don't know, but I don't know this type of religious, but no, I never observed.
Okay. So this is new to you.
Yeah, all this is new to me.
Okay. All right. So yes, if you ever have the opportunity, take a look into these things. Okay. It might be new, but it's a very old religion, and it's actually very peaceful. Only fanatics are the ones that create chaos, unfortunately. Okay, so let's move on to the next exercise. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Chocolate. Okay. So what do you know about chocolate? Learn about the history of chocolate and the interesting journey from cocoa bean to chocolate bar. So we have all of this vocabulary. Number one, a pod.
Protect the beans to break something into very small pieces, to make something hot, to turn something solid into liquid, to cause of chemical change in plants. It contains the cocoa beans. To make something cold, it's skinned around the beans. Oh, pot. Maybe it contains the cocoa beans.
Okay. What about a shell?
And the last one, it's a skin around the beans.
And the pulp?
Oh, the shell, maybe it's the first too. It protect the beans or not?
Okay,
It's common. Puede ser también.
La concha o la cáscara. El pod es el capullo.
Los de dentro.
Bueno, los beans son los frijolitos.
Sí,
Ujú.
esos grandotes.
El pod es el que contiene los frijolitos.
To pulp something is very small business to make no, can turn something no, to cause chemical no, to make something cold.
So a pod, it is the skin around the beans. ¿No será el pulp?
Has sense.
Ujú. To heat, makes sense, makes sense.
To make something hot.
Okay. To cool.
To cool. Cause chemical change in plants. To turn something liquid. Oh, cool.
Ah. Okay. To make something hot and to cool, to make something
To
cold.
make something cold.
To melt.
To break something into very small pieces.
No, melt is derretir.
To turn something solid into liquid.
To grind.
Yeah, to break something into very small pieces.
Ujú. Grind es como triturar.
Perfect.
And to ferment.
To cause a chemical change in plants.
Okay. Good. Any questions on vocabulary?
No.
No? Okay. So let's see. World Chocolate Day. Did you know that there's a World Chocolate Day? It takes place each year on 7th July. To celebrate it, read about the history of chocolate and the interesting journey from cocoa beans to chocolate bar. Okay, let's start. Can you help me?
Yeah, brief history of chocolate. Chocolate was first used as a drink over 2,500 years ago in Central America. It was very popular with the Mayans and the Aztecas, who mixed cocoa beans with vanilla or chili peppers. In fact, cocoa beans were so important to them that they were used as money. Cocoa beans was first grown in Ecuador, which was for a long time the world's #1 producer of cocoa beans. It's still one of the top 10 producers of the beans, but nowadays more than 70% of cocoa beans come from West Africa. Cocoa beans come from cocoa trees. These trees grow in tropical forests around the world, from South America to Indonesia. The beans grow in colorful pods of red, yellow, and purple. Inside the pods are the beans. Each tree grows around 50 pods of years, and each pod can contain between 20 and 60 beans. It takes around 100 beans to make 100 grams of chocolate. The pods are picked by hand to protect the trees. Preparing the beans. Once the pods are picked from the tree, they're opened and the beans are taken out. The beans need to through a number of different processes before they are ready to be turned in chocolate. First, the beans and the pull-up are placed in special boxes where they slowly ferment for up to 5 days. Here, the beans turn brown. and start to develop their special flavor. They are then put out in the sun to dry for approximately 14 days. After this, they are roasted for about 15 minutes in preparation for the final stage when the beans are taken out of their shells. And the end of this process we are left with the cocoa nibs, chocolate in its purest form and the basic ingredient for all chocolate products. From cocoa nibs, the chocolate liqueur. The first step is the grind the nibs by machine or between two large stones. This produces cocoa liqueur, a semi-solid paste. This is then cooked and mixed continuously for hours or even days until it's just right. This is also the stage at which other ingredients are added: sugar, milk, various flavors, interesting chocolate melts at 34 degrees. This is just below body temperature, which explains why it can be so sticky and messy, but also why it melts as soon as you put in your mouth, from liquid to solid. At this point, the cocoa nibs are ready for the last stage in the journey. For cocoa liquor to turn into solid chocolate, it needs to be heated and cooled and heated again until it forms a solid mass. And so, at last, the journey from the bean to bar is complete. So now you know all about how chocolate is made. You may want to celebrate the day by eating one of your favorite chocolate treats.
Okay, before we continue, do you have any questions?
Maybe sticky.
Which one?
The first paragraph, line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From cocoa nibs to chocolate liqueur, the line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which explain why it can be so sticky.
Pegajoso.
And messy. Messy.
Messi es el jugador, ¿verdad? Una vez me dijo así un niño, sí te lo dije, ¿no? I was teaching class to kids, and I had adjectives and cards, and they talk about tidy, clean, so on and so on. And one of them said messy. So I asked, so what is messy, guys? And one kid, teacher, is the soccer player.
Is the answer.
Hey, kids, right? Anyways, messy significa desordenado.
Oh, perfect. Messy.
What else?
Yeah, this is all.
Okay. So what do you think about the article?
Oh, it's a delicious article. The chocolate is the best dessert.
Well, since I was living in Yucatan, in Cancun, I had the opportunity to visit one town, and they had a show on how to make hot chocolate. Hot chocolate for Mayas and Aztecs was very different from the hot chocolate we drink now. Okay. Very, very different.
In flavor or in process?
And texture, textura,
Oh.
and also taste, I mean, you feel good, but the chocolate had also pepper, tenía chile también, you know.
Oh,
En lugar de canela, le ponían pepper.
but the
Different
taste
types
is
of pepper.
it's
Yeah,
good.
I'm sorry.
The taste is good.
It's good, actually, yes. Pero por la textura, because of the texture, sabe un poquito amargoso.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so.
And it's very, very thick. Está muy grueso. No era así, es como cremosito, por eso. I mean, it tastes pretty good, but of course, we were born into the new kind of chocolate, right? But I had the opportunity to taste it and also drink it from a traditional Mayan cup, which was a coconut cup, you know, un vaso de coco. That's what they would drink it. So yes, you ever had the opportunity to come to Cancun, to the peninsula of Yucatan, you will find all of those things, okay? Now let's go into the first exercise. Write a number 1 to 6, put the ideas in the order they are mentioned in the text.
Okay, drying the beans in the sun, taking the beans from the pot. Yeah, this is the first, taking the beans from the pot.
Okay.
Or taking the pot from the tree. No, the first is taking the pots from the trees.
Okay. Number 2.
Taking the beans from the pot.
And 3.
I think ending no. Roast tampoco, esos son finales.
Adding other ingredients, roasting the beans.
Drying the beans in the sun.
Secar los frijolitos en el sol.
Yeah.
What else?
Grinding the beans is.
What about roasting?
It's not the.
Es como rostizarlos, ¿no?
Yeah, it's. Oh, pensé que eran los pasos finales. Rostizarlos. Primero
Antes
añades
de triturar.
Grinding es triturar, no era mezclar.
No. Ok.
Ok, entonces sería, yeah,
Vamos a ver.
rostizarlos.
¿Dónde está? History. Preparing the beans. Okay. So to turn into chocolate. First, beans and pulp are placed in special boxes. They're slowly fermented for a day. The beans turn brown and start to develop a special flavor. Put them in the sun to dry. They are roasted. Okay. Sun dry and then roasted. Okay. So
Perfect.
roasted.
Number 4.
And then?
5. Grinding the beans. And the last one, adding the other ingredients.
Okay. Circle the best answer.
They grow on the tree. The beans, the pods. The beans? But pot has these beans.
So pots.
The trees grow on mountains in tropics near rivers. In the tropics. Oh, mountain.
3.
Most cocoa beans are grown in. Oh, okay. Now in West Africa. Currently in West Africa.
4.
The beans are roasted for 50 minutes or 14 days. Quemados.
14 días.
Quemados, los pobres. The purest form of chocolate is the cocoa paste. Chocolate turns to liquid at a very high temperature.
Okay. Really? Yes, it has to be hot. Low would be cold, right?
Yeah, very low.
Okay.
Cold.
Good. So what is your favorite kind of chocolate?
Oh, I have a lot of kinds of chocolate I like. In Bolivia has a type of chocolate with quinoa, and it's milk, chocolate, sugar, and roast quinoa. It's always weird, but it's delicious because in Bolivia produce a lot of quinoa, and it's correct, the word quinoa.
Okay.
See?
I didn't know, but I'm guessing that every country has its own kind of chocolate, right? It only makes sense.
¿Nunca escuchaste de quinoa?
No, never.
¿No se come quinoa en México?
No se le conoce como quinoa, que yo sepa.
Es como una especie de arroz.
No.
Suena muy
No.
extraño. Pero...
Send me a picture so that I can find out more about that.
Hoy.
But later.
O bueno, en Bolivia le decimos quinoa.
Okay.
Pero creo que en el exterior se le dice quinoa. Pero en Bolivia le decimos quinoa. Es muy rico porque lo puedes hacer cocer y puedes comerlo tanto con salados como con dulces.
Okay. No recuerdo.
It's a delicious.
Maybe my wife knows, but I need to ask her. I don't know. Send me a picture whenever you have a chance, okay?
Well, perfect.
And that's all for today, Sergio. Good talk.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Good
interesting to
practices,
talk
okay?
about chocolate.
Yes, of course. And next time we will learn more things, okay?
Perfect. So the survey is done.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Sergio. Have a great night. And I'll talk to you on Friday, okay?
I talk to you on Friday. Bye-bye, Cesar.
Bye-bye, Sergio.